Hello and welcome to a rather cold and rather rainy end of March, and welcome to another hotel. I am here in Swindon in Wiltshire. Hi, it's Craig. Welcome back to Craig's Life and welcome to the Holiday Inn here in Swindon in Wiltshire. Today is the 26th of March. It is very cold outside. This has cost me £189 and I'm here for 2 nights. Now, I stayed in Holiday Inns before. I have reviewed them. I've stayed in Holiday Inn Expresses. I've also stayed in Crown Plaza, which are all part of the IH3 group. So you're probably thinking, is this one much different? Well, have a look and see what you think. Here is the view that we see as soon as we walk through the door. And the first thing that you will see is this is a small room. Now, I have stayed in hotels where I've had small rooms before. You may have seen the Marlin in Dublin, which was a snug king, which was very small. You may have also seen the Thistle at Heathrow Airport, which is also a small room. I guess this hotel is probably the similar sort of age as the one in Heathrow, the Thistle. But as we actually walk in to the room, you can see, in compared to some other Holiday Inn rooms, really just how small this one actually is. It's a little bit surprising, a little bit disappointing. I've stayed in Holiday Inn Expresses with much bigger rooms than this, so this in itself is a little disappointing. I've already stayed here. Tonight is my last night, which is why the bed isn't completely perfect. That is a double bed. Now, the duvet, as you can see, barely just comes over the side here, and it is rather small, but that said, it is comfortable, and I did sleep quite well last night, and the pillows are very comfortable, so that is something on the plus side. Only one chair and no table. That's because this is such a small room. And if we look round, we've got the TV here, which I have actually got my Fire Stick plugged into at the moment, and a little cupboard space there, and a desk space there as well with a lamp. You'll notice just here I have got my extension lead. That is because there's no power sockets on either side of the bed, although we look on this side, there is actually a USB there, so you could at least charge your phone. But if I'm using my phone and my laptop, I can only charge one or the other. If I just spin around behind me, we'll see we've got the vent here for the air conditioning, which I have actually turned all of these vents to point that way. They were pointing this way, but that is very mucky. And you know, I have said before, I don't normally like these because you don't know what kind of germs and bacteria and all sorts of nasty things come out of those, so I don't really like using them. I had to last night because the room was a bit cold when I came in. A little bit of damage all the way up the wall here. I guess this must be a 60s building. As you can see by the door there, it's just to the ceiling, so it's got a very low ceiling, but that's actually got part of the AC as well there. Here we've got a kettle and some tea and coffee making facilities. There were some biscuits in there as well. I've eaten them, and I've had some of the milks there as well. Here is the wardrobe space, and if we look in there, on the top shelf is our hairdryer, and we've got good amounts of hanging space. No safe. You're probably thinking, no ironing board. Well, there is the ironing board right at the side of the wardrobe, but there's no iron. So that's pretty useless. Without an iron, it's no good using that. Let's have a look at the bathroom. I've already said the room is small, and so is the bathroom. It is very small indeed. And I'm sure that there are houses that some of you live in where your bathroom's probably not much bigger than this, but because it's such a small room, then the small bathroom is in keeping. That said, it looks fairly modern. It's not in a massively bad state of repair. It's a nice mirror, and it looks like it's fairly recent, judging by the way it's all been nicely sealed around here. But and the other thing is, well, it's also impeccably clean. And if I just look here, I'm going to have to come in and actually close the door to get in to show you the shower area here, with your controllers are just here. Again, with it being a full glass screen, it is impeccably clean. I don't actually know what this is coming down here. Must be some sort of seal that has come down. This towel rail isn't heated. It is basically just a rack with decent sized towels, and nice and fluffy as well, which is what we like, nice fluffy towels. So while I'm here in Swindon in Wiltshire, what is there around here? You are right on the edge of the Cotswolds. From here, you're not too far from Stow-on-the-Wold and Burton-on-the-Water and lovely places like that. You've also got the Museum of Steam in the centre of Wiltshire as well, which actually I've been to. They've got all this. They used to make the steam trains for the Great Western Railway here in Swindon. I've been to it. It is, if you're a bit of a geek and you like trains and planes and things like me, it's quite interesting. It's well worth a look. The hotel itself, I do believe it has some leisure complexes here with it. I haven't actually checked it out fully. There is a bar, there is a restaurant. Walking down the corridor, it does look like it's being recarpeted. What lets this down for me is the fact that it's just a small room. The welcome when I came in was very friendly. Certainly can't fault that. As I've been here at night, the Wi-Fi was a little bit hit and miss. It did drop out a couple of times while I was watching on my Fire Stick over here. Not massive problems. As I say, it's a comfortable bed. It's impeccably clean, but it is dated. We move on to the point now where I make a decision to say, 1, would I stay here again? And 2, what score would I give this, with 1 being the worst and 5 being the best? There is probably no doubt that I may stay here again. I'm not going to give it a definite yes. If there was nothing else to stay in the area, then I would stay here, but this wouldn't be top on my list. I would be looking at other options first before I came and stayed here again. What score am I going to give this? I think 2 would be too mean for this hotel, because it is clean, it is comfortable, it's relatively warm. The public areas are being done quite nicely, but it is dated and it is a little bit tired. But I think I'm probably going to give this a 3. Certainly when you drive up, there is no wow factor at all, and there's no wow factor in the rooms, but it is kind of made up for the fact that you have got a comfy bed and nice areas. And if you're away on business, then this bed, which is supposed to be a double, which is quite small, would be fine if you're on your own as a business traveller. If you're on holiday, then I would certainly suggest going for a king-size bed, because there isn't really much room in that, and the duvets don't really come much more than just over the side of the bed, so it's not like you could be fighting over the duvet, because you really might struggle. So there we go. Not the worst hotel I've stayed in, not the best of Holiday Inns. I think of all the Holiday Inns I've stayed in, this I'm probably, I may, even with a score of 3 out of 5, I do think I'm actually being quite generous with this. And I think the thing that actually possibly sets it apart, that earns that generosity, is that it's part of the IHG group. Do you disagree with me? Well, you can leave a comment down below. And while you're down leaving a comment down below, you can also give it a thumbs up and like, and you can click that little bell icon, and you can get notifications. I know some of you do. Until the next time, I'll look forward to seeing you right here on Craig's Life. Bye.